Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back to the Mock, where we take someone else's mock draft and we mock it. Kind of. I just give you my opinions on it. I know it's a bit early to be mocking other people's mock drafts, so I'm really just using this to kind of go through and see what other guys are, where their evaluations are at. Who are they pretty high on this early into the process? It's really fun. This is a 2-rounder, so we're gonna try to fly through it. Next week, man. Sometime podcasts will be up. We'll be starting with the redrafts, and hopefully the deep dives start next week as well. So it's gonna be action packed. So be sure you're here. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshbo, just in case you did not know. So almost forgot this part, but it's gonna be super casual today. So let's go ahead. Let's get in. This is from via the draft wire, Luke Easterlin. Let's go ahead and take a look at his 2-round mocker. I think he's going with Vegas odds. Latest Super Bowl odds. So he has the Houston Texans taking Kayvon Thibodeaux. I love Thibodeaux. He could go first overall. My only gripe with that is if the Texans are drafting one, you gotta imagine at least one quarterback emerges as a number 1 overall type of prospect. So like a Spencer Rattler, unless something happens with Deshaun. Because we know Deshaun, he's in his own little predicament right now, and he doesn't want to be in Houston. I don't know how much. You don't have that much invested in Davis Mills, because he was a early 3rd-rounder. It's not a big investment, so I don't know. I'm still in the quarterback camp at this point. A lot can change, though. But hopefully y'all understand that. Thibodeau's great, though. His first quarterback off the board, though, is Sam Howell, which is very interesting. I like Rattler. I think he's got a bit more arm talent. He's just really good at outside structure. Sam Howell's pretty good too. He's got a cannon of an arm. So yeah, like him and Rattler are probably everyone's number 1 and 2. So let's keep this sucker going. Detroit plus, yeah, they need a quarterback. They're picking 2. Just assuming Jared Goff ain't do so hot. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they choose to replace Cam Robinson with Evan Neal. Evan Neal's great, man. He's, I think, likely playing left tackle this year. Maybe sticking there at right. I haven't heard too much on that yet, but super athletic for a man that's 360. So yeah, he's pretty darn good. Tackle class right now, it's there's a couple of guys that could be at the top. Currently, that's probably going to be Neal. I'm a big fan of Jackson Kirkland from Washington as well. But I kind of mentioned that. If you haven't checked out my O-line or offensive tackle rankings, do so. And then we have the Eagles going Derek Stingley. Spencer Rattler still on the board. I'm assuming this is their pick and not their one of the ones they got via trade, Dolphins or Colts. I would probably draft a quarterback here, man. If you're drafting this early, top 4, Jalen Hurts, he didn't pass the test. I get it, though. Derek Stingley's really good. They do need help in the secondary. I don't know. Who did they draft? It was Zach, right? McPherson. I saw him more as a slot guy. They might play him on the outside. But, yeah, I mean, regardless, Derek Stingley, he's one of the top 3 or if not top 2 prospects in this class. Christian Harris. Honestly, this is too early for a linebacker. Just the linebacker position, if we're talking about the true traditional linebacker position, it's not as impactful as some might think. There's literally maybe 3 or 4 linebackers that truly impact the game. And that's a lot for Christian Harris, man. I'm top 5. I don't know about that. Dude can be athletic, but I don't think it's all there yet. In coverage, he has just not been good the last couple of seasons. But we'll see. Maybe that changes this year. I don't think it'll change so much so that he goes maybe top 10, though. I think that's kind of ludicrous. Then we have Zion Nelson going to the Bengals. They get help at tackle, so maybe they stick with Jackson Carman playing guard. I like Zion Nelson a lot. I think he's kind of a fringe first-rounder at this point. He has made huge leaps in development, considering where Considering what was that first game against Florida a couple of years ago. I remember it was the same day that I think Andrew Luck retired. I'm pretty sure. I think it was around the same time. But yeah, Zion Nelson, he is really improved. If he continues that improvement, continues to put on weight, former tight end, gets closer to that 300, 315, 320 area, then yeah, I'm all about it. And then we got Drake Jackson. If you haven't checked out my edge rankings, I'm a big fan of Drake Jackson, man. Like I like the high, like he has some high end reps on tape. The thing is with him, I just want to see it consistently. Consistently. He can be unstoppable. I want to see him be more unstoppable. So that's the only thing. He's been a bit inconsistent here and there. Going to the Falcons, yeah, they need edge. Charles Cross out of Mississippi State. He is going to be up there with one of the most pass. How do you word this? He's going to have some of the most true pass sets on tape, at least in 2021. It'll be up there with like Abraham Lucas. It's just he was so up and down last year. Like he had good outings here and there, but like, yeah. Let me go look specifically. I got him in my notes. Yeah, like he shut down Bama, which that front line was nothing to gawk at, you know. But like, yeah, he was just super inconsistent. A little bit more consistency. I think he's more of a day two guy. There's Spencer Rattler. I just assumed everyone has him as their top quarterback. I get it. Like there's been rumors come out that he's kind of douchey. I think it was like some show he was featured on though. I'm not positive. I haven't done too much look into his douchiness, I guess. But the dude's a great arm talent. He started to become a lot more consistent. And dude, he just has that big play potential, man. He's always making those big time throws. Malik Willis going to Washington. By the way, where did Rattler went to the Raiders? Then if I'm Houston, why not draft a quarterback? I don't get that. Washington football team get Malik Willis. He's probably going to be my quarterback 3. Just because he's got more to offer than Slovis in terms of upside. Slovis, like I was going back watching him last year, and I'm just saying, y'all know I loved Brock Purdy. If you're not new to the channel, you know I liked Brock Purdy. I'm getting that Brock Purdy vibe, man. I'm not ready to have my heart broken again. So yeah, we'll see. That's good mocha. But like Malik Willis, yeah, I've talked a lot about him if you want to go to my quarterback video, but essentially he's a former, I think he was like a 4-star recruit, Auburn recruit. So he's good enough to make a Power 5 school. Couldn't beat out Bo Nix, so moved to Liberty and just kind of exploded. Dude's good, man. Like he's not a perfect prospect by any means. A lot of people are going to make the comparison between him and Trey Lance. Which is fair. Both are athletic. Both have a cannon. I think there's areas where there are definitely areas where Lance is definitely the better prospect. I don't think Lance was nearly as carefree with the ball. Like Willis has a ton of dicey throws on tape, you know, so we'll see. Let's keep this sucker rolling. DeMarvin Leal going to Minnesota. Wow, they keep throwing guys on the interior. I mean, I guess Leal can play on the outside, but at 290, whew, I don't know if he does. He currently basically plays edge. Majority of his reps did come on the outside, but I imagine he's gonna kick to the interior at his size. I don't know, man. There's always exceptions. Really good though. I think he could be a top 10 guy. Kyle Hamilton, another guy that I think could be top 10 going here to the Carolina Panthers. They grab another safety. Ooh, I don't know. don't know about that, Panthers. I don't know. But yeah, no, he's easily probably like could be a top 10 prospect in this class. Very good. Kind of a blue chip guy. There is Slovis, man. Slovis going to the Steelers. Dude's super accurate. He just doesn't take many shots downfield. And I don't know if that's going to change because you have a playmaker like, was it Drake London? They're a receiver who's so good after the catch. I don't know if he takes those shots downfield like he did with Tyler Vaughn on the squad. Even Amon-Ra St. Brown, dude, he was, even when they kicked him outside, like he's more of a route runner. He likes to do things after the catch. Not to say he's not vertical, but he can be. But yeah, Slovis, the big thing about him is great accuracy, arm strength in terms of arm, like getting it downfield, zippity. I don't think it's there. He's, for me, like yeah, man, I might when I revisit my rankings before the season, I might end up having Slovis as a fringe first rounder. We'll see. Then we got the Giants. Why they go corner, I don't know. But they go with Sevyn Banks. By no means. Like I get it. This has to be all projection when it comes to Banks because his play was not great last year. I could talk about that Alabama game for days where he allowed 11 receptions on 11 targets for like, it was like 130 some yards and 3 touchdowns. 2 to Devontae Smith, 1 to Najee Harris. But Banks, he's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the length. He's in a great system that can showcase that. If we see a big leap in development, yeah, definitely I could see him there. But not being he's the second corner off the board here? Yeah, nah. George Pickens. I like Pickens. He's not going to see the field till November, I think, because of the ACL. And I just think there are some, like, he's just a jump ball guy, man. He doesn't offer a lot after the catch. Yeah, man, I'm just not on board with him. He's the first receiver right now to go in this class. Yeah. And really, like, he looks good on like film in terms of his athleticism, like his body control. But I don't know, man. I just think there's better prospects in this class that I'm more willing to take our chance on. So, wow, Desmond Ridder going into the Saints. Oh, apparently Ian Book ain't it. So this is the thing about Ridder. I don't know what he gains by return to Cincinnati this year. He's gonna come in and he's gonna run the same offense, look great in it, not make the playoffs because the college football committee will never let that happen unless they expand the playoffs. Then what? What are they gonna do? Like, it's literally gonna be the same year as 2020. How does that change? Outside of now you're not it's not such a top heavy class like last year's. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think he would be fringe first rounder, even if it's rinse and repeat from last season. Like, this is a much deeper quarterback class, I'll say that. So, yeah, man. I kind of think he should have went out in 2020, but I don't know. Maybe he does show off something. Maybe I'm wrong. Chargers, they go Zach Harrison. This is interesting. I like Zach Harrison. He's got a lot of talent. He's done a good amount with the few snaps that he had last year. He's going to be their opposite of Tyreek Smith, who I'm stupid high on as well. We'll see, though. He's got a good frame, good length. Could have got a better picture of him, though. Ugh. Makes his arms look small. Jalen Wademeyer going to the Cardinals. They desperate for a tight end. See, the thing is, with Wademeyer, he's probably going to be my top tight end, but I really don't know if there's a first round tight end in this class. Like, he's good. He's a solid blocker. I like what he can do from a receiving aspect. I just don't know if it's good enough to be a first rounder. I don't know if I'm there yet. I listed him in my tight end rankings as a first rounder just because he's probably the only guy that probably makes the cut as a first rounder at the tight end position, just because what he can do as a receiver. Oh, but I really don't think that's the case. So this is actually way high for me. But I was talking about that last night in my stream. And then we got Kaiir Elam from Florida. Probably, I expected him to be off the board before Banks, but going to the Jets, that's a good pickup. The dude's great, man. From his athleticism, length. He has a few blown coverages on tape. Like, I would say his tape is similar to CJ Henderson's, but with less blown coverages. So I like Elam a lot. I think he's going to easily be a first rounder. George Karlaftis. He's really got to regain that rookie or that freshman season. Last year, he was kind of like just hit by the injury bug, but like he is a power rusher through and through. And I think he needs to come out and show out like he did his freshman year and show that he's more than just an edge setter, or else he's probably going to find himself in day 2. And then Chris Olave, great route runner, good burners, could be better after the catch. He's, I think, my wide receiver 3 right now, man. I think, like, regardless, like, I probably would have him as a late first rounder in the 2020 class. Or the 2021 class, he's probably still gonna be a late first rounder to me in this class. And then Rasheed Walker. I think Rasheed Walker, especially with the tackles I've seen in this guy's mocks. But yeah, look, Colts, they get a tackle. Yay for them. I think you can make a case for definitely Nelson and then possibly for Charles Cross as first rounders. And I would like Walker's not nearly been as consistent as those guys. Like, I feel like when he's had to face better edge players there in the Big 10, my bad. He just hasn't like rose to the occasion. So I want to see him do better in those bigger matchups. He'll have him this year. He's got like Illinois. That's Owen Carney. I imagine he'll have Ohio State, which that's just a ridiculous line in its own right. Can I get the Sketty? Sketty for Penn State. Let's see. They have Wisconsin. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Or for Auburn. So really, Illinois, Ohio State, Michigan, Aiden Hutchinson. That's a big one too. So at least those are probably the big matchups. So we'll see with Rasheed Walker, but I'm not that high on him right now. JT Daniels. I just want to see one more year from Daniels. I just want to see one more year operating that. If he could play like he did last year for a majority of the year, it's just with him. I think last season a lot of his categories he led statistically in terms of averages were like third down, efficiency, like what other ones were there? I think it was like efficiency, and I think it was I think it was under pressure, which are two very volatile categories. In the NFL, you see though, like the guys who are at the top of those categories kind of shuffle. It's just hard to predict who will be good at that point because it relies a lot on your offensive line and really the playmakers that you have there. In terms of, of course, how efficient you're going to be on third down and how good you're going to be against pressure, because how good your protection is going to be. So he's got great protection, I'll say that. He should have decent playmakers though, so yeah. We'll see. That Georgia team looks scary, man. They're really putting all their eggs in one basket. Agent Hutchinson, I think I've said this to death, that he's got a skill set that translates well to the NFL. It translates to a lot of success in the NFL. It's just not one that's not drafted highly. So I don't know if he'll be a first rounder. Justin Ross, man. It really depends. Going to the Packers here, if you didn't see. I'm not really listing off where these guys are going. I'm more so wanting to talk about the prospect. Green Bay drafting a receiver. Psh. But Ross Medicals need to check out. And really, I think he needs to show he's more than just a vertical threat. To me, like, I guess you could say he would be on par with like a T. Higgins, which, yeah, T. Higgins probably be a late first rounder, but T. Higgins doesn't have the medical concerns that Ross did, so, or does. Perwine Winfrey. I really gotta learn how to say his first name. Only thing about him, Oklahoma doesn't really have him play the run a lot. Like, he looked great versus the pass, but we saw that with Christian Barmore. They were like, man, it's really Alabama takes him off the field occasionally for when on those early downs. He's mainly just a pass rusher. That's kind of what Winfrey is. He won't find himself in the first round if that's kind of the perception of NFL teams nowadays. So that's about what I'm gonna say. Why are they going interior again? Jeez. Okay, Cleveland. I got so happy. I thought this was Kendrick, but it's actually Garrett Wilson. Look at that play though, dude. Garrett Wilson, he's very special. Well, when it comes to how he is as a route runner, how he controls his body in air. The dude's great at the catch point. Definitely Olave is faster, but I would say Wilson has the better yards after the catch, man. He does better with the ball, like when the ball is in his hands. So that's kind of, for me, Garrett Wilson like edges out Olave. But yeah, why are they going receiver? Interesting. Okay, Bills. But Kendrick going to Georgia, man. Keep your eyes out on that. That's huge. This is one I don't get. Nick Broeker. I'm flabbergasted. I don't see it when I look at this cat's game. Like, he needs to be way more consistent. I don't get him being in the first round. I think you can make an argument for him as a day 2 guy. But even then, dude, I think I have currently like a 5th or 6th round grade on him. I'll look at him more. I will admit, when it comes to to evaluating the offensive line, that's one of my least confident evaluations. But typically, you could look at like win rates when it comes. Like, if you lose a lot, then you're guess what? You're probably not gonna do good in the NFL. So, I don't know. I'll do a little bit more investigating with him, but I'm not that high on him. So good on you, Baltimore. Isaiah Spiller going to the Dolphins. Everyone's trying to showcase a running back in the first round. Unfortunately, the team to get one in all these mocks are the Dolphins. Dang it. But Spiller, I think Spiller's might sneak into my top. To be in my top running back. I have no first round grades on any of these guys though. Breece Hall, him and Breece Hall will probably be challenging for it. But Breece Hall, like what he did behind a very bad Iowa State offensive line, being able to average what he did after contact, knowing that most of his contact, I think it was like on over half of his snaps, his first contact was behind the line of scrimmage, which is insane. But Isaiah Spiller, though, yeah, man, I like what he can do with the ball in his hands. Not so much. He's more of a power back, but he's got some moves to him. Don't get me wrong. It's just he's not really. He's not gonna do nothing in the receiving game. John Menchie the third. People didn't like where I had him ranked. I think I had him like 7 or 8. I don't think he's on par with the Bama receivers of old when it comes to Ruggs, Judy, Waddle, and Smith. But he's gonna have a bigger role now if he can improve his force missed tackles, his drops. Drops were kind of an issue for him too. And then, hey man, we might be off to the races with this cat. I simply said there's some stuff I want to see him improve in, and people weren't having it. So, yeah. but I'm not there yet. Oh, wow. He has 2 running backs in the first round. I kind of already talked about Breece Hall, man. I love Breece Hall. Let's keep rolling because we still got another round to get through. Thayer Mumford. This is surprising. The guy's been super dominant. I need to look into it. Is he a 5th or a 6th-year senior? So it might be kind of an older prospect. I always, like, since the 2020 draft, because that's when he was eligible, I thought he could have been probably a guard convert, but the way he played tackle last year was very good. Very, very good. So I'm kind of, like, torn right now with how I feel about him. He's probably going to get a 3rd-round grade, if I'm going to be honest, man. He deserves it. Second or third, man. Let's keep this rolling. Cade Mays, this is a bit high for a guy that hasn't really shown it throughout his like career. There's just no consistency to him. We could go back to last year, right? His first start for Tennessee versus Mizzou and Georgia, where he allowed 6 pressures, 2 sacks. That's on the interior too, not great. But apparently, like, I think I liked him better during the last 3 games. Now, if you could show that through the course of a season, okay, but I still don't think it'll be enough to get him to 33. He's got to be pretty darn dominant. Bubba Bolden, I'm glad they didn't put him in the first round, just because he's got a long way to go. He's got a lot of blown tackles. He's got a lot of blown coverages on tape. But from a physical standpoint, from an athletic profile, he's got it. I think so. Tyler Davis. Tyler Davis is a big boy. Honestly, like, I like his teammate a lot. What is it? Not Xavier Thomas. Xavier Thomas kind of got screwed, by this. But what's his teammate? It's like Brady Breeze? Something like that. But, Tyler Davis is good in his own right. This might be a bit high too, for this interior class. We'll see if he could be as dominant. He was really a high sack guy though. Think, what did he have, like 7 sacks last year, something like that. And then Ventrell Miller, man, the dude's lacking in length in my opinion. Like, and he's more of an opportunist. He's like a stunt run. Like, you could probably equate him to like a Chaz Surratt or a Troy Dye. I think he's in that 3rd to 5th round area, probably closer 3rd to 4th. This is a bit high for him. I like how he plays, man, but like, he's not gonna, when it comes to linebacker position, you love length, you love speed. I think he's got speed, just that lack of length. He's not gonna be a guy that's constantly disrupting passing lanes. That's just not him. And then we got Kenyon Green. I think he's gonna be a 1st rounder, man. I like him a lot. He's moving to left tackle from left guard. The guy's just athletic, dude. And I think he's going to be looking great at tackle. I think he's my 3rd tackle on the board. Hasn't even played a lick at tackle yet. Boomer Sooner, Nick Bonito. Nick Bonito could be a 1st rounder too. I don't know if he gets... Like, he probably is going to end up weighing in the NFL like at 245. Lucky for him, what he's done in coverage as well, outside of just being a pass rusher, it doesn't work for every scheme, but there's going to be a team that highly values him because he is going to be a monster in their scheme. I think that's the only thing holding him back. I think he might be real scheme dependent. And good for you, Bengals. A team that no one has any idea what their scheme is. Master Teague. Woo-wee. For me, Master Teague is knockoff A.J. Dillon. I like Master Teague, though. He feels like a big hoss with a burner, but he doesn't have too many moves. Again, he really feels like A.J. Dillon light to me. He's probably a day 3 guy, so wow. Atlanta, what you doing? What you doing, Atlanta? Brennan Cox. I like Brennan Cox. He kind of slowed down the stretch of last season after a hot start, but you can kind of say that about that whole Florida team. But dude was dominant and in the SEC nonetheless. So yeah, this is a very good edge class. It's going to be very deep. Tyler Linderbaum to me is a 1st rounder. Good on you Raiders for getting Linderbaum. He's amazing. Some people say he's undersized, but the guy is spectacular. I think he get to that 300 threshold. Even if he doesn't, super athletic, very strong hands, former wrestler. Guy's great. Darion Kendrick, man, he's in Georgia now, man. He's gonna be playing a lot of press, man. I think he ends up being a first rounder as long as some of the character stuff that's happened over the course of this summer, isn't it? Oh, okay. Just got an email and I was like, who the heck's emailing me? Thought it was spam. Jordan Battle I actually like a lot. He kind of plays that star role. He's mainly deep in slot, I believe. For Bama, he was really good. I think he's definitely going to be in, like, after Hamilton. Like, I think he's in that contention because I like Brandon Josephs a lot. It's kind of like him in Battle right now for that next spot. You could even make a case for the Arkansas safety. I can't remember his name though. Charlie Collar, he does good tight end things, and he's not much of a blocker. In terms of he does all the tight end route things very well, the tight end receiving things very well. Not a great blocker. I think he's more of a day 3 guy, like a 4th rounder. I like Collar though. I like him. Oh wow, they have Abraham Lucas. Yeah, he probably would have came out last year. It's just, I think the Pac-12 had like 4 or 5 games. That sucks. But he's like 6'7", like 330, around 330. Dude's huge. Where he loses is when he gets out leveraged, when he lets guys get under his pads, and he plays a bit high. Again, you worry about those taller guys at the tackle position playing a bit too high, and he kind of falls under that. But still, man, he has been so consistent from a pass perspective. Josh Jobe, to me, he's closer to Trevon Diggs than Patrick Surtain, and even then, I still feel like I'd rather Diggs. So I feel good about him in the second round area. I think this is a good spot for him right now. Penalties were an issue, but when you're playing so much press, they probably will be. But good on you, Bears. You got a good guy there. Merlin Robertson, for me, he is like the Xavier Collins of this class, potentially. I don't know if he'll test out similarly, but he's used very much in that regard there at Arizona State in that way. Second rounder is probably a bit better. I think I kind of like slipped him into the first. Kind of regret it. Jeremy Ruckert. I just want to see more of this cat, dude. Like, he went off during the playoffs. I know he was behind Luke Farrell, right? But it's not like they used Farrell either. Ruckert, great blocker. He has displayed some real receiving chops. Hopefully we'll see more of that this year. Zion Johnson. I love Zion Johnson so much. He is probably a guard. They kicked this cat out to left tackle, and dude held his own after kind of a rough opening day against Duke, which that Duke duo of Dimakiji and Rumpf kind of dominated a lot of tackles last year. A lot of offensive linemen in general. But Johnson, I don't know if he could stick to tackle in the NFL. But man, I don't know. He's probably one of my guys in this class. I'm really loving him. Ahmad Gardner's my guy too, and I have him as, I think he's my second or third corner prospect in this class. For me, it's kind of ridiculous that he's down here at 50. He's probably one of the most tested, best press man corners. He's a bit thin. That's probably going to be worrisome for some guys, but I think if he get up to like 190, he'll be fine. Where is he sitting at right now? I can take that quick look. $188. Okay, maybe 195 because he's 6'2". He's probably gonna test out shorter than that though. Xavier Thomas, he doesn't really play the edge role there at Clemson. They run like a 3-1-7, so he's kind of playing on the inside of the tackle, which I don't think plays to his strengths. I think it's a bit unfortunate. And last year kind of screwed him. He was never really healthy all of last year. I don't know how much he can do to like really improve his stock, but Him in day two, I think is nice. It's just I just don't see him doing good in Clemson's scheme, unfortunately. Ty Freifogel, another jump ball guy. That's about it. That's all I gotta say. Another jump ball guy. Devin Lloyd, this linebacker class. There's some interesting names out there. He's a bit undersized. Let's see what I said about Lloyd. Bit undersized, but he's kind of been dominant, I think, the last 2 seasons, if I can remember. Because I think I had him at 10 on my list, right? Yeah, I had him at 10. So we'll see with him, man. This linebacker class is kind of like a free game, really. After for me, Mike Jones is my top guy. I like him a lot. But, like, there's that Washington cat whose name I still need to get down. There's JoJo from Nebraska. I think the Fatsukasi from Rutgers is really good. Doesn't get a lot of attention. And then there's always Jack Sanborn, too, from Wisconsin. So this is a very interesting linebacker class. Josh Stills, I think he's a 6-year. He is a 6-year senior, former recruit from West Virginia. He's played all over. Like, I'm glad they put offensive line. Have they done that for all their offensive linemen, though? Am I just being stupid? Or do they actually list tackle, guard, stuff like that? I guess they do in some cases. I guess they put O-line if they think they're going to be on the interior. The guy's played everywhere, I think, but left tackle. He ended the season on the right, but I think he's a guard in the NFL. But he's a bit older prospect, so he's like a man among boys, ragdolling these kids. Morris here, now at Oklahoma with the former transfer from Tennessee. We'll see about him. We'll see. I don't know if he's even the best tackle on his team. I kind of like Swenson a little bit. Is it Swenson on the other side? Make sure I'm not calling him by another name. Yeah, Eric Swenson, there at Oklahoma. So we'll see if he, I assume Morris is going to be playing left, but maybe they move Morris to right. I don't know. We'll see. I didn't see what they were playing at in the spring games. Fedarian Mathis, he's got a little bit of pass rushing upside. I wouldn't say he's on the level of Christian Barmore, definitely not a Quinnen Williams. But I definitely think he's a day 2 guy. I like a little bit of what he can do. Alec Lindstrom, man, I'm just not behind Alec Lindstrom like some of these guys are. I got him listed as a 4th rounder, undersized, 295, technically sound. Just the dude gets destroyed against power fronts like Clemson, Pittsburgh. They all had their way with him last year, so. They're showing him against Cincinnati here. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I think about him. Frank Ladson, pure projection. I went back, looked at the tape, probably took about 5 minutes. And I didn't like what I saw necessarily. From what I saw, I was like, oh, this is a young guy that really didn't get many opportunities and didn't take advantage of the little opportunity was given. So this is pure projection. They don't even have Drake London on this list. Shadarian Jones, him and Andrew Booth. It's Andrew Booth, right? The other corner for Clemson, yeah, are interesting. I'll say that with Jones specifically, I think he had the smaller sample size between him and Booth, but a majority of his snaps came there on the outside. Jones really got roughed up by Ohio State. I think he allowed like 2 touchdowns. He's going to take on a bigger role. He did pretty well for the most part, though. It's just Ohio State, man. They roughed the boy up. So, yeah. Hopefully him taking a bigger role, maybe he improves a bit. I'm surprised they have Jones above Andrews, though. Or Booth. Brandon Joseph. I think this guy's best play was deep, but he played both in the box, in the slot, and guess what? He was great wherever they put him. It'll be interesting to see because that Northwestern defense lost a lot of big parts to the draft this past season. So it'll be Be interesting to see if that play continues. Trent McDuffie, he's probably the best pure zone corner in this class. Should be higher on the list. I like what is this? Sawyer here a lot actually. I think, did I list him as a first rounder? I think I might have. I sure did, man. Former 4-star recruit. He has one of the best win rates in the SEC of any tackle. Like, I liked a lot of what I saw. Dude, Georgia's got a good squad. Who's getting him? The Rams? Whew. Okay. Admittedly here, I haven't seen a lot of Zach Pickens. I'm still doing a bit of a deeper dive in him and what is it? Kingsley Nagbear? Nagbear? I'm doing a deeper dive into that South Carolina offense or defensive line in the next few weeks. So I'll be able to tell you more about Pickens later. So this guy's, he's high on him. He has him at 63. That's pretty high. And then he has Booth at 64. That just surprised him. It just surprises me that he has Booth further on his list than Jones. That's just kind of shocking, I think, in general. I know Mel Kiper's stupid high on Booth. He has Booth what at he has Booth at 24 on his big board, I think. I think it was 24, but he didn't start many games. Yeah, he just very stupid limited. So yeah, I guess we'll see with him. Some people are really high on him. I gotta go back and watch more, I guess. But yeah, that's it for the video, man. If you hanged with me this long, let me know about any prospects you think should have been included. That should be like kind of the top 60, top 50 prospects. And let me know what you have to say about this guy's mock draft in terms of his rankings. Because, like, I think they were interesting. I'll say that. But thanks for your support, obviously. And until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.